Bingham.
Okay. So how did you become a member at St. Mary?
I became a member at St. Mary's in 2005.
Okay. How old were you then?
I was 9 years old.
Okay. Tell me about what the church was like when you came here.
Well, when the church, like when I first came here, it was 2005, a very wintry cold day, and the snow was about 6 inches high, and I lived right around the corner. Before that, I visited a couple of churches, but for some reason, this church caught my eye, so I came in. The lector at the time was Father Gerald. Nobody was here that day. He was just about to close up and knock on the door. It was me, my sisters, and my two cousins. He said, well, I'm about to close up because there's nobody for church. And I told him that just because there's nobody for church doesn't mean we can't pray to the Lord in our own. So we sat here with the same service at church for 2 hours, doing the same exact thing as everybody else would be here. And at the church door, he came to me and said that you is one of the children because out of nobody coming, a child from him and his family through this snow just to come to praise the Lord.
So tell me how you've been active at St. Mary since you've been here.
Well, how I've been active is that after that week was over coming to church and doing the snow was melting, and I had came back with me and my cousins and sisters. Now, Miss Dr. Waters was the Sunday school teacher downstairs, and we had we had basically learned things about God, Jesus, and calling his name and different names like calling Messiah and the Son of God. And we was learning about Moses and Adam and Eve, the essential things.
Okay.
So when we was learning about that, it was kind of reflecting when I was hearing the lector speak on it when we was in church. This was before I was acolyte. I would sit down and reflect on what he was saying and how she was telling us. Because most of the time when she was saying it down in Sunday school room, it would be reflected when we were in church upstairs.
Okay. So you heard the same thing when you came upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would read plenty stories and watch movies on it. And it kind of reflected how life is still today because Jesus shares and breaks bread and gives as such people does in the church now.
Okay. And so you've not only been a participant in the Sunday school, but you are now still an acolyte there.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me why you chose to do that.
Well, my main reason for doing that is the people that was at the church, and mostly who really how we become more intimate in the church was Miss Geraldine Waters. See, she was like my guide, helping me out through the hard times, because I was the only boy of two sisters, my mother. Now my mother, she was always on her own. My father was never there. So it was kind of rough, and we was living in a house where there was no people that was abandoned, but it wasn't the block was abandoned, and the gas and electric, we always be out. We would have to serve money that my grandfather would give us to feed not only my mother, but our 3 children, including me. I didn't always live with my mother. I used to live with my godmother as well, but every time the weekend came, I made sure I came back to this church because it's the people that helped me out during the time. And Miss Geraldine Waters, one time when I was about 10 years old, she gave me this guardian angel coin for Christmas, me and my sister. Now, for my sister, she was little and she's younger than me, but she lost her, and still to this day I have mine. And I sit and pray every day about my family and how can it get better, because bad things have occurred by not having a father figure now. And my mother, well, she don't come to church with me, but she always give me praise and says it's good for me to stay in church, because out of all my cousins and sisters, me and my sister is the only one that still comes to this church.
Okay. Very good. So tell me how you think St. Mary could be involved in bringing younger people into the church. How do you think we could do that?
Well, kids nowadays want something that they can use to have more fun, to really have people that knows about them. The way we can do that is having like maybe on the weekends having like days that we can speak on, reflect on what they're going through or what they've been doing or why would make them come to church. And we actually had that a couple of times, but not at this church. But it was for all Episcopal teens that we would stay over the night or just a couple of hours and reflect on what we do in our own church and what's different from how we live and how people live.
So that's in the teen leadership program.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's a diverse group, right? I mean, people from different backgrounds, different races, ethnicities.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. What's that experience been like?
The experience has been like for me, it seems that other people from different races have the same problems as I do. And knowing that I'm not the only one that's going through the struggle and going through having problems with family, because it was he was Italian. We were speaking, and it was at Notre Dame, and they was telling us that well, he had problems with his homes, and many people in his family had died. And I'm reflecting on him by saying how he acted. You would have never known that he was going through that struggle. His mother had died, and he lived with his grandparents who was older now, but he's about around the age of 13. But the way that he lives and showed his smile on his face, to be a true person, I would have never had a smile on my face to see that what he'd been going through. Like he had so many problems that he was nervous around certain people that doesn't talk.
So you're learning a lot about the fact that people can be in the same or similar situations that you're dealing with and how they're dealing with them differently, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me also ask you about, we have our first African American bishop, Bishop Sutton, right, over the entire Diocese of Maryland. What do you think about that? The fact that after all these years, we finally have our first African American bishop.
Our first bishop is like, to me in the church having the first black bishop is just like the same thing as having the first black president. Okay. It's astounding to find that these African Americans today can be a leader. Because in today's time, there's so many African Americans getting arrested and killed on the streets. But now that we're seeing African Americans really showing up and uprising to what they can really be in that spectrum, is that it's happy to find that we can now take over or be a leader, because for many years and generations the white population has been uprising on us, and for some reason and some people show that that's been shunning African American people. So I'm astounded that we have a black African American bishop.
It's also something to give you some hope that we can, as African Americans, can reach new heights and.
Yes, that does need hope alive.
Okay. All right. Okay. How has the church changed since you've been a member?
The church change that I was a member was that, well, Father Gerald, for example, to me, he was a good lector, but now that we have Father Charles, he shows us new things, and like during Father Gerald's time being elected, every time he would say, we'll speak about the problems and what we was going through in an electric bill, it was kind of upsetting to hear about that, and saying that the downstairs Sunday school room was going through problems with the walls and the floors, and over the time, I would have thought that they would have people come in here and fixing it, or the windows for a long time and the brick hall was broken, no one came in and fixed it. So I'm just, when I was younger, when I first came up here, I was just thinking like, if we should put together something to help it out, or, because this has been going on for a long time, probably about 2-3 years that I'm hearing this. So one time at the meeting, he was saying that, we need to raise more money, but he would say this every week and it would never get better.
How's it changed?
It's changed because Father Charles came in not even a year into it and was making plenty changes. Like the first change that I've seen him does when he did the breakfast thing is to meet more people that was coming to the church, and then by him fixing the windows and having us more for the Sunday school room and doing different things and having kids come up to the on the altar. That was a big change because when we was doing the altar, it wasn't that many kids doing it. It was just me, my sister, and probably 2 other people. Now we have younger people that's doing it, and they have more energy than we do, so they do it faster. Now, as soon as I turn around, somebody already got the boat, and I can finally sit down, don't have to stand up and pass out the wine and bread. And now that he did that, I'm an altar, but now I'm actually a teacher as well.
So you're becoming a leader?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else that you want us to know about how you feel about St. Mary or anything else you want to say as we wind up this?
Well, I just want y'all to know that I love St. Mary's. That's why I've been going here for 9 years, even though I'm not with my mother, and it's just me and my sister. But to me, I don't think I'll never stop coming here because I feel love in here.